welcome back to Nightingale's Motorcycle Restorers and Metal Finishers. Right, got some nice Yamaha crankcases in today, so I'm going to show you a process. It's usually about a 10-stage process in here, and it is using every machine I have on the vapor side and dry blasting machine, so 3 machines. So I'll tell you what we do when they come in at this level. I mean, you could be doing this at home for yourself, but I'm just telling you how we're doing it in a professional workshop, and as if it was going back for restoration and also inspection. So the first thing we do with the cases when they come in, and I've done this, is we've put them in a degreasing tank, degreased them. Now the top half of these were in a factory finish, like a satin black, and the bottom half of these we're in like a casty finish, and we'll put a vapor blast finish on these soon. So what I'm going to show you is at the end of this, I'm going to this process, I'm going to paint these and show you what we actually get when we finish them. So the first thing is we've degreased them and checked everything. Now the first thing to check on this is a little bearing, a blind bearing in there, so I've blanked that because it's not a problem, because what I'm going to do is, with anything we do with crankcases, bearing faces, end float areas, gearbox, we don't go anywhere near it with oxides or glass vapor. Now we started omitting this about 2.5, 3 years back. So anything that comes in on this side, where you've got anything running shells, we do it on soda. Completely different setup, dry machine. And I'll show you now what the finish is with soda and why we do that. So what we've ended up is degreased casings. Now, in our game, in restoration, or anyone doing this kind of work, is the biggest thing is degreasing, because it's not the blasting time or metal preparation time, it's the cleaning. So once it's degreased, then you'll go through everything down every side, where anything change side was, anything in this part, all the orifices, everything. Because just putting it in a vapor blast machine doesn't turn it into, you know, the finish you're going to see, or what you've seen on many videos, or you've had done yourself. So when people come in and say just put this through the vapor, it's got to go degreasing first, and then fully clean back inside with little cotton buds and everything to get every remnant. Any gasket sealant or anything at all will still be there no matter what you blast it with, because it bounces off it. So the time factor, that's your time. So at this stage now, I've got these back cleaned. I've gone down all the little areas with cotton buds and everything and taking anything else out, anything on the surfaces. And then what I'm going for next is, after inspecting it, I give it an acetone down, look at it again, and then put in the oven, let it gas out. This is if there's any residual of brake fluid dripping anything down, or petrol's been coming down, or grease around any of the areas, because as anything, we're painting it, so by gassing it out, it makes sure that we've got no contaminants which have soaked into it, because it might not bite you today when you paint it, even if you're doing it at home, but several months down the line it'll start to break down on you. So right, so I'll show you soda blasting, what it looks like close up. Right, so all them processes done there, now I'll show you soda blasting close up. So what we've got is the original casing, all been inspected now, and one I've just soldered inside. Now again, we're soldering it because we've not got any oxide, iron oxide, no matter how fine it is. We've got no glass wet vapor into this, and it's something we stick to. Anything with journals, again, crankshafts, all the rest of it, we run soda. The sides, soda, sides soda, and then we'll move over to a vapor blasting. So the bottom would be vapor blasted, because the bottom half of this crankcase, as I said, is original casty finish. Again, no identification with our medias or anything would take any of this away, or frame engine numbers. The only bit of ferrous we've got still in is this bush here, which I'll tell you about that, the last thing what I'll do with that. So that will be vapor blasted, and the vapor blasting media, again, we're on a mixed oxide of glass, I should say. A couple I use, mainly going through 70s bling, because it's a colour. Talk on colour again, it's wet vapor, in a colour, it's just shading. Again, I've said it in the past, that finish there now is a bit like a Laverde 1000, bit Harley-ish, guzzy type. And if I wanted to get that better like this, what I would actually do, I would just stick to soda on that, if a casing come in of that era, or one of my dulled off glasses, you know. So yeah, so that'll be vapoured and showed you that. Now, when people go on about blasting things and doing things, you'll see a piston, you'll see probably my videos where I say we fine surface swipe a piston, I put it on a turnstile. Well, what we're actually doing that with, because you might sound contradicting me saying I don't use any oxides into anything. You see it's like it's talcum powder. So what we're doing with this is, if these were just coming in to be refreshed and cleaned up, ultrasonically cleaned and refreshed, I'd use a soda, water soluble, so no problem. But because this piston is coming in for a ceramic coating, this is like a Teflon, and to prevent helping on seizure, you know, it kind of, it's like a frying pan, an non-stick frying pan. That's one coating. So we have to have the correct media to blast this piston with. Again, we hate the word blast. It's side swiping it. So it keys for a media to accept a ceramic coating. In this case, it'll be a side coating. But even if I clean the full piston with that ultra-light oxide, dry again, that'll be then for a top coating, for a top piston coating, which is another specialist coating. Again, this is retaining heat into the cylinder head, and the side's more for a friction and oil. So yeah, so the reason I'm saying this again is because if this was, it's like when I do it in here myself, it's me, but it's so easy when you see I'm using 3 machines now. It's so easy, you can't get sidetracked. You know, you can't just stand in a cabinet and just blast away. These are journals, these are everything. So if you were just sat on a piston with anything, yeah, of course it'll wear it out. It'll put indentations. It's a media under blast pressure. But by soda, it's water soluble, and that's great because even in here now, I've masked it off, but there's a little hidden blind bearing in there. So that's great. So bottom half of the casings, just to recap, you'll see that blinged up in a vapour, and then we'll go on to the top half of the casings now. So what you're going to see is, I'm doing the same again. I'm doing soda internally to all this, and then we've got the original factory flash coating on here on the side, and the other side of it, and your stator side, your carb inlets and everything. And if you look close there, even the inside the crank top half were blacked out. So what's going to happen is I'm going to take this off now, this coating, because this is, again, like I said, I'm preparing it now for a ceramic coating, 625C, petrol brake fluid resistant, factory finished, the date come out the factory looking. And the colour I'm going to use, as you can see, of a ceramic paint, is one I use on a lot of casings. I'm actually doing this on an air cure. I like doing the air cure ones because for me, if I'm doing a lot of parts, I don't have to mix the resin, because we don't have the luxury of matte satin and gloss when we mix resin. Catalyst for the oven, then I syringe it out on a weighing scale, the catalyst to the paint, to get the right shade, matte satin or semi-gloss. The ceramics I find are a bit down on the glosses, but here this is going for a satin finish on a C finish, so that'll mean I'll be painting that, straining it through about 150 metal strainer, ceramic coating, and then we'll be going 24 hours air cured, 5 days to probably go off. So that's what you'll see in the next part of it. What I am going to do, I am going to retain all this black. This will all be cleaned up. This top will be cleaned up. And then the studs, and then the front, the sides, these sides, and in here will be ceramic coated. Now, a lot of people at this stage will say, I ain't bothered, mate, because no one sees that. You don't see this, but it's just that it makes no difference to me, because we'll mask off now with this, some sheeting, some oven temp masks, or anything, ordinary masking papers we have. We'll mask the full top of this, and we'll sheet that off to add the where we've soldered, and then hopefully when we match these together, you're going to see a brand spanking new set of cases. So the tubes will be masked up. The only thing I'll finish it off with, we'll just, we won't disturb these studs, but we'll clean them back, and then we'll just put a little flash of ceramic silver over them, because the ferrous, so they might flash off. And what I'll do here, this piece here, I'm going to flash off in the black as well, just because that's ferrous. Some people might argue that on concourse restoration, they might say that that wasn't black, it was silver, but I could do that. But on this one, we'll just do it. So next bit, once I get prepared now, I'll do the same to that soda. And we have 125 colours in ceramic. And then on the powder coat inside, we've got every RAL colour. You just pick, you can have anything from pink, blue, the lot. But some of the ceramic colours I do a lot of like the HRC Hondas and really good stealthy colours. But yeah, so that's how we prepare it. As I say, it's usually like a 10-stage process, and it sounds a lot, but it isn't, because I've got soda blasting, dry blasting, polishing, wet blasting, our bike modifications and heads we build for TLR 200s, and chemicals. We're doing everything. We're bouncing from one to another. So probably on the same day as this, I'll do so many casings, and then I'll be into the oven, whether it's powder or ceramic coating on 2-pack. You will ask one question probably, why the ceramic coating in catalyst to air dry? Well, if something come in like pistons, say for a race team or anybody who particularly wanted some special spec, and we're coating the tops and the side, it means I could do the lot, gas them out, acetone them, paint them, wet film thickness reading even to check them, you know, micron readings, and we could top coat them, and we could turn them round the same day, and they could be back on the machine or ready to go for the weekend, where your air cure is obviously 24 hours to touch, and then 4 or 5 days more out. So we'll get ready now for painting. I'll finish this casing off, get this taken back. I will show a picture in the photograph of me taking what the black looks like. Again, if you look very close, all the Yamaha and everything, all its identification will be still immaculate and seen. So I'll do a drop down, and then the next thing you'll see me in the booth painting these with a ceramic finish, and see what you think then. Right, so we're actually on another day now, because what I did, bouncing from one thing to the next, I've now got these prepped for painting in ceramic, which I'll show you in a minute. The thing is, we just go through it now. What I did, as I said, we've vapor blasted that back, all down the sides and everything, so that's a lovely finish. That, see it in the light, might just catch it. And then on the internals, we're soda blasted. You can see the difference in the colour. Again, water soluble. And all masked up, bit of messing about to mask up. As I say, we're doing all the original with it. I mean, they're real purists when you're restoring. It sounds crazy, this, but I'm going to flash these back in again where they were in the black. The thing is, when you're if you had someone who was 100% and were on photographs, because all this is for photographic evidence as well, the type of customers, what you'd find is I'd cheat, I'd just flash it partly in there and partly in there, because as they're passed in the factory, that's how they were done. So, but I'll be blowing them in and blowing the insides, and then it just looks good. I've got a couple of little bits to put on as well, some new circlips ready. But when the customer comes for that, it'll be lovely to investigate and get it built, because it's mint, and it does allow you to see every part. I think the thing, what you might say, well, you're going on a bit and doing stuff, but it's just standard procedure this, because what's actually happening is, years ago when these were new, let's go back 35, 40 years, when they exploded, you got 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 times, and then the crank went, so the cranks come out, especially if they were production racing these things. And then after that, it starts getting pick up on it, and it might have had a different sets of casings on. But when you've got a guy building it now, not just stripping it down and throwing a crankshaft back in it and having a general look, you've got the guys now who are building them to a different level, and a lot of me restorers, guys at home do, as well as doing it in the workshop, you know. Yeah, it's all about when you put them back together, when you hear little things like vibrations, when you change down, and by checking everything out properly, it's a great way of doing it. So that's what you'd get in this workshop, a procedure. Again, you might just want them vapouring like that to that lovely finish. But just showing you process. Again, we aren't inventing the wheel or anything. It's a case of just showing you how we do this process. We'll get them into the spray booth now, get them painted, and let you see what you think when I pull the tapes off. So right, we're coming to the end of this video. Masked it, unmasked it all now, painted it, ceramic coated it. As you can see, close up the finish in ceramic, right the way around it. The underside obviously is soda, and then vapour blasting. So time we stand this together. Something like that. All the sides masked off obviously were done, and line that up. There we go. So, one set of casings done, soda, aqua vapour blasting, prep for ceramic coating, and now ready to go back together. So till the next one, 01723 370 399. You can always get me after 3 o'clock. We're based in Scarborough, North Yorkshire. Thanks for watching.